What's up, guys? It's Ryan and you're watching Ryan Vision. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos. Just want to do a real quick one. This is a 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee, so it's a ZJ, has a 5.2 liter V8 and it has an automatic transmission. And basically I was getting a check engine light after we did a bunch of motor work, so it scared the crap out of us, to be honest. But the weird thing was the check engine light, we sat there and ran the motor and the check engine light didn't come on until we sorry guys, we got a train going by. Check engine light didn't come on until we actually put the Jeep in gear and rolled it backwards, and then it came on instantly. So I went down to AutoZone and bought a little OBD2 scanner, and they got some cheap ones for like 50-60 bucks, but I got a little better one. It was $80. It's a little orange handheld one. I forget what the brand is. But the reason I got that one is it had a bunch of definitions loaded in it. So instead of just the code, it would also tell you what the code meant. My code ended up being a P0720. And basically all you do is you turn the key on to the on position, don't actually start the vehicle. Then you plug in the OBD2 scanner into the OBD port, which is right under the dashboard on the driver's side. And then it'll read the codes automatically, and then it will show you what it is. So the P0720 said output shaft speed sensor circuit. So we're looking at the just behind the transmission pan. There's a transmission pan right there, and we're sitting on the driver's side. So just behind the transmission pan on the driver's side, there is this little plug here. Well, the sensor's obviously inside of there, but in my situation, I got underneath and the wires on this plug were all chewed up and they were actually touching each other. I could see bare metal wire touching each other. So I called the dealership, and you know, this is called a pigtail. Basically it comes like this with some wire hanging out so you can splice into it like I've done up here. And I know you see electrical tape there, but there are wire connectors under that electrical tape. Don't ever just splice them together and put electrical tape on them. Make sure you actually use butt connectors, clamp them on real good, and then the electrical tape is to keep moisture and dirt out. So anyways, the dealership wanted like 35 bucks just for this plug, just for the pigtail, and they didn't have it in stock. They had to order it. So the best thing to do at that point, if you run into that, or even if you don't, just because of the price difference, go to your local pick and pull, find a Jeep with the same engine as you, and check this plug. See if the plug's the same. In my case, it was. I found one right away. I got underneath. I cut it off with as much wire available as I could. You know, I cut it way down here. And for $11, I got this. I got a metal fuel line, and I got 2 coil spring retainers for the rear. When this would have cost me alone 35 bucks at the dealership. So then all it was a matter of cutting my damaged one off up here. You can kind of pull these wires loose up here and get them out of this little covering thing here, and pull them out, cut them, and then strip the wires a bit so you can get the butt connectors on each side. And what I did is I put the butt connectors on these wires on the plug outside of the vehicle because it was just easier. Then I got under here and grabbed the butt connectors with my clamps and guided the wire in, and then just squeezed it with my clamp, and then of course taped it up and plugged the plug in. So everything's good now. And then the beauty in those little cheap OBD2 scanners, at least in the one that I got, it'll also clear the codes. So once I fixed this all up, I cleared the code. I didn't have to disconnect my battery or anything like that, and started the Jeep up, and guess what? No more check engine light. The symptoms of this, it was not just the check engine light. Basically, shift points were acting weird. It was sticking in first and second for a long time, especially when it was cold. And now that this has been changed, I'm not having any of those symptoms, and no more check engine light. So if you guys get the P0720, this is how you fix it, unless it's the actual sensor itself. Alright, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more. Have a good one, guys.